Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new series. This is Fine at 50, where we attempt to answer one question. Is this character fine at level 50 with reasonable gear? Now, the term here is reasonable gear and reasonable champions. What we're trying to do is for more free-to-play, friendly type of guides for characters that maybe I'm not going to get to level 60. Like, for instance, I've been playing a couple months now on the free-to-play here, and I only have one level 60. And it would actually be beneficial for me from the times I've been playing it to see gameplay of characters at like level 50 or have an opinion of characters with just bad gear on them. And that's kind of the idea of this series, just to get an opinion when you pull a new character. Okay, I pulled Coffin Smasher. With this guy, is he fine to level 50? Not is he fine, should I level 60 and max him out and put insane gear on him? So that's kind of the idea. Most of these series, and I'm going to not explain this in the beginning of every series, but just for this one at least, most of this series is going to be just about at the level of what you see here, which is some level 8, some level 12, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of level 16 gear. The skills may be booked, they may not. For instance, I did actually book Coffin Smasher for this one, okay? The masteries, he has none of. He has a ring, but no necklace, and the ring's not leveled. Okay, to give you an idea, that's what we're working with. That's what this review is going to be based on. And I do have a lot of information about Coffin Smasher, and I've used him a ton with these stats. And I think he's actually fantastic at this level. So let's go ahead and get into Coffin Smasher. Is he fine at 50? Spoiler alert for this episode, yes, he is. Okay, so we got to talk about his skills first. The first one is that he does a triple hit on basic. Obviously, a triple hit is good for Fire Knight. It's also pretty good because each hit has a chance of placing a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, which means if you book him, you get a higher chance, right? You don't have to book it. I did it just because I know I'm going to be using Coffin Smasher for a while. That sounded like a kind of a Hulk Smash ripoff. Coffin Smash. But the triple hit's also good if you do ever take him to level 6 or 60 for the Giant Slayer, will be good also. The A2 also doesn't have to be booked. It just gives you an additional chance for the HP burn. I probably wasted books on this now that I think about it, because look of how many books it took. It took 8 books just to make that a 75% chance. So this character, you don't have to book. He gets better significantly with the books, but so do basically all characters. So if you're worried about booking him, you don't have to have it. But I did book him for the purpose of this video. You are going to see the books on him. Now, if you want to know what I put on him in terms of gear, I actually put him on a toxic set because since I don't have him level 60, he kind of lacks in damage. So the only way I can really get damage from him is the triple hit can now apply 2.5% poisons because of a toxic set. And then it also, those are unresistible too. So we get a pretty good amount of damage from him. He actually ends up being one of the higher damage dealers in things like my clan boss, because yes, he does go in the clan boss team because it's attack down, which is important for the clan boss, and HP burn, which also does damage and all that. So very often he'll do the HP burn move and apply a poison, which is a pretty good amount of damage. All right, so let's give you some examples here. This is Dragon 13, which the farthest one I've cleared is 14, so this is just about the farthest one I've done. I can't auto 14 at the moment. It's a really bad affinity for my team. So if you look here, I'm just going to show you some examples. Okay, Coffin Smasher doesn't really do very much for the waves, in all honesty, and almost any of it doesn't really do a whole lot for the waves. Where he does help you out is once you get to the boss, you get attacked down on the boss, which kind of helps you survive, namely, what's the Ice Knight? Ice Golem or whatever that, I forget what it's all, they name these things, okay? Really helps with that. The attack down on that when he gets triggered at the like 70 and then 50 and 40 and all those different percentages where he does the big slam helps a ton, not getting KO'd with that, okay? So really helps a lot. On the downside with that, the auto on the Ice Golem typically makes it where the Coffin Smasher goes for the ads. So he's most of the time applying the attack down for the ads, which can be fine because they can attack too, but a lot of times they're just debuffing, okay? Which can kind of be a bummer. So the AI could be better, but he's still useful. Now on things like the dragon here, you're going to see the triple hit. He got 1 poison application. There's the attack down. So the fact that Mausoleum Mage put the defense up and all that, we didn't get the debuffs, but the attack down also saved us some damage, right? That's more or less what his usefulness. You can see there's more poisons there. He does a pretty significant amount of damage with both the poisons and the HP burn. Zargla is normally carrying because of the War Master, mostly because of the War Master, which goes to show that if he had Giant Slayer on top of the Toxic set, he would probably do more damage than anyone on this team currently. That being said, by the end, I guarantee you this guy here, Coffin Smasher, is going to have some of the most damage on this team, just strictly from the poisons constantly going off, because he's kind of a carry with the Toxic set. I don't know if I have to recommend Toxic set as the one and only thing to use him for, or to use him with. I think you could definitely put Perception on him. He needs speed, I think, to continually get the hits for Fire Knight, and to make sure he gets the application of the attack down. The Toxic set was just my cheese to get more damage out of him. See, 101,000 damage from him. Then you had 40k from Mausoleum, 42k from Apothecary, 163 from Miscreate, obviously, because he has AoE on the waves, and then 431 from Zargla. So you can see how important being 60 is, plus having that masteries. I mean, she's fully mastered this compared to no masteries at all. She has way better gear as opposed to the level 12 gear you've seen. So I figured I would show you guys Coffin Smasher and the Ice Golem like I was mentioning before. I'm going to do that without Zargla, so this is all level 50s. Level 50s, no masteries, so you guys can kind of get an idea of it. But Coffin Smasher himself is really, really good in manual play. But the kind of almost the problem with him is he needs to be played manually in the Ice Golem, because when you're watching it, and you'll see it here in just a second once we get through the wave, but he's going to want to attack the ads on the side. And when he starts attacking the ads on the side, it's not good, because what's going to end up happening is eventually somebody's going to end up attacking the main boss with AoE or something. It's going to trigger the 70% slam down. And when that 70% slam down happens, 70% ignore your defense or whatever, you're probably going to die if you don't have the attack down. It's kind of what I've experienced anyway. So having an AoE attack down, I feel like for Ice Golem is way better than having an individual attack down. Maybe I'm tripping on it. You'll see here, the side guys are void, which is also good because you are going to be hitting them. You see, he's got attack down now, which is really frustrating, because watch what the ad does here, right? Look, he just does. It's not like you're not gaining value from the attack down. He's just doing the debuff. So you see he's constantly attacking that. I guess you could say it's for the best, because you need to kill the side ads, so that he doesn't get the huge bonus and all that. I get that. It's just, for me, I kind of wish the Coffin Smasher was smart enough to get that decreased attack on the main guy at least once, and then, hit the other guy. See, now he's going to do it. We get the decreased attack and all that. So maybe I just got my panties in a bunch. I don't know. But that's kind of how I feel about it right now. But see, now he kind of pops off. You get the HP burn. You get the decreased attack. Literally all the debuffs on this guy right now are from him. So that's pretty exciting, And then because we have Frozen Banshee, the poison sensitivity will be nice with the Toxic set from Coffin Smasher. And, you get a little bit of value from that there. I won't make you watch this whole run, but you get the picture. I'll show you the gear here at the end, and we'll talk about it. So did we establish that he's fine at 50? I think we did. He's good in Dragon, Ice Golem, and Fire Knight, because you need a triple hit. He was in my Fire Knight team to help me get the Sacred Shard and complete the challenges completely for the dungeon ones. So, yeah, I believe he is. He's also a really good character for Perception gear, which, if you're free to play like I am, ends up being some of your better gear often, because you get it from the Forge. So for that reason, too, he also benefits from that. He's good in Night Revenant Dungeon, which is one of the harder faction wars crypts, too. So there's also some perks there. You know what? I actually like him. I don't think he needs books, but the books definitely help him. He's kind of expensive to book. Admittedly, it's 6 for the basic, and then 8. Yikes. Yeah, 8 here, man. Ooh, he's an expensive person to book for sure. So maybe if you get the basic attack booked and you don't have to book this one, I think I ended up having to book this one first in order to get this one. That's what ended up happening, but that's what I think. And did we answer the questions you find at 50? Yeah, I think we did. And yeah, that's how I have him. I only have one piece of gear that's 16 on. Pretty good. I don't think he needs amazing gear. He scales off HP. So because he's tanky, he also does more damage, which is another bonus. So, like this, build him with HP primaries, speed boots. Probably don't have to do crit rate gloves. Probably just make him tanky, like, crit rate or, HP or defense gloves or something. You could even just full perception gear on him would be good too, because you need accuracy for the stuff to land. I think he's good. You know, I'd probably give him a solid 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10 in terms of a rare.